I was playing a solo queue game, just queued up for a regular solo queue game, and then one of my friends was like watching me, just watch my stream sometimes, and came by my game and like joined my Discord call. Was like, "Hey man, you're playing against Doublelift right now." I was like, "Wow, that's cool." And so I ended up playing against Doublelift, and then I checked out his stream afterwards. I was like, "Wow, I want to learn what he told me that I could improve on, what he said about me, and how he thought of my laning and stuff." Because I did win the game, and so then I went back over the stream, and he called me well, keep it PG-13. He called me a wuss and whatnot. So I was like, wow, I really just want to improve on my laning. I want to show him and all the other people out there that I'm a better AD carry. I'm as good of an AD carry as possible. Maybe I'm not as good as him, but hopefully I can at least make him sweat next time.
Take him down, one and done. That's all you need. That's right. Isn't that how it works?
If you can beat Doublelift, you can beat Waterloo, I think is the saying that he was going for.
Welcome back to the 2019 College Championship. The teams are readying up on stage for round 2 between Waterloo and University of Illinois. And we're looking for some bloody games, and the teams have been playing for late. We got that in the first game, and we kind of ended a little earlier than late, but it looks like our games could easily go there.
I mean, it was the kind of thing where you saw a very specific draft out of Illinois where they had the Vigar, which, like we said, is a late game scaling champion, and it was back and forth. The gold lead was all over the place, and I thought it pretty clearly, you know, with the team struggling around the Baron and things like that, I would want to be on the side with the scaling advantage. So I hope Waterloo goes a little bit more in that direction, maybe not quite as early game focused as a Rumble and Lucian.
Right. Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. We'll see what they decide. It's not going to be Zeno having that counter pick this time. He'll have a bit of one, but we'll see what happens on the side for Captain Shrimps here, the one that is also carrying from the mid lane if he can get something to do so with, as we have a bit of the mid and top focus out here to start things off.
All right, well, we'll have to see. No Yuumi ban, which was banned last game. We'll have to see if that's something that people are going to prioritize. I know Twitch chat and some Redditors cannot possibly believe that Yuumi is strong, but we've been talking to a couple pros and coaches and stuff, and they've been saying that Yuumi has been warping the bot lane meta. She's so strong. So we'll have to see if people try and go for it here in Collegiate as well. But first, Illinois is just going to go back to the Vladimir 4 top bottomist, looks like.
Wouldn't mind if Yuumi had like a discontinued feature. Yep.
You hate her. You haven't even seen her yet in competitive.
No, I know, but just thinking of what she can do is not fun. Maybe I should just play her. That was my whole thought with LeBlanc when I started playing too, and LeBlanc came out.
You hated her.
I'm like, I don't want to play, and then you just join it. That old phrase.
Yeah, I remember when I used to play, and I didn't play the meta stuff. I played like Rammus bottom and stuff and trash. And then I played GP top when it was the old like Atmogs and Paler, and I was like, oh my god, I should just play meta stuff.
Atmogs, wow. Lucian Braum, very strong bot lane from Waterloo. They look to have great strength there again. And Platoon, he's going to feel great on Lucian once again. Sona? Ooh, Sona Nami hover once again. And we do have Topopotamus on Vlad. He felt really great after that triple kill at Baron, almost a quadra. If he could have got that kill onto Sherb. And what will be the final pick for mid? I'm guessing it's going to be their AD, maybe not.
I would assume if you're taking the Sona like that, you'd be taking the Taric as well. We'll have to see. I have heard about a Sona Yuumi lane, but I have to imagine, like you're saying, Sona Taric. It's been terrorizing competitive play everywhere, and it looks like it's coming to the collegiate scene too.
Look how fabulous they are. Just absolutely radiant. All right, what's on the side of Waterloo? Captain Shrimps waiting to lock in. 11 seconds left, and he will decide.
I got to imagine they'll be able to take their top laner here if they want to.
Oh, look at that! Gangplank.
Well, the Vladimir was already shown. You don't have to be a genius to go for that one. I was surprised at the GP, though. Vladimir used to be a counter to GP. It's not quite as strong as it used to be, where the Vladimir is diving and killing him over and over, but it is still very much Vladimir's favorite matchup. We haven't seen the junglers yet, but this does kind of tip the cap for what Illinois should want in terms of an aggressive diving jungler.
Absolutely. We see the Hecarim. What else do we have locked out of the jungle? Rek'Sai was pretty good for Project 1. He stayed mobile, but he stayed quiet, I'd say. He was definitely present in fights, but you didn't see him ganking lanes a whole lot.
It was one of those games where everyone was stepping up, so it was hard to pinpoint over the course of multiple fights. One fight
flying under the radar somewhere.
Yeah, one fight Zaya's doing great. Next time it's Topopotamus. Next thing you know, Zeno has a good fight. So it was hard to really target anyone. But the fact that you had Project 1 playing Rek'Sai from behind in a game and doing well in team fights, that's really hard to do. So I think, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to it. Waterloo not banning it, so maybe they'll take it away. We'll have to see.
You're not a tanky girl, so if you're still in your damage build, you're like, well, hopefully I kill someone before I die. Kindred What's the last ban here? You see coaches Ido and Gino on stage for Illinois. Coach BTM on the side for Waterloo as you see them standing behind their teams. It's always good to have that second voice. When you think sometimes, if you ever played a competitive game, well, rewind. If you watch a team and they have a bad draft, you're like, why did you draft like that? But if you've ever been in any style of competitive game, and you come out of a draft and you're like, wait, how did this happen? That's how. It just happens. There's no other explanation. You figure out that holy crap, something happened in the draft. So it's good to have that extra voice behind you, so you know you can be like, hey, actually, oh yeah, I have my favorite champion to play still. Little things that can be forgotten. So we do see aggression for Lyo still. Shinzao coming out. Ooh, pick up for Project One. That's very cool.
And the Ori on a mid lane. No cheers for the Ori mid lane. Some cheers for the Kayn.
Yeah.
I like it. For the most part, when you run Sonateric, you often look for an aggressive, damage-oriented jungler because you're going to get so much utility from your bot lane that you can kind of enable them to go wild. With the Hecarim and Kindred bans, a lot of the high damage dealers were already gone, so they turn to Kayn for their damage jungler. We'll have to see if that works out, though.
Don't see the Swain too much from Captain Shrimps because it's something that gets banned out. He does 2 wins, 1 loss on this champion so far, and he plays quite a mean Swain, so we'll be taking that up against Zeno. A little bit more of an explosive lane. I expect Project One, however, to be heading there a little bit earlier this time as they try to get some kills down. We'll keep an eye on Lyo as well. But this Sonateric bot lane now coming in from Illinois. They had the Zyra Khan last time. They're going to bring out the next duo that they can find in Sonateric. And that Lucian for Platoon still. He had a great game, was really making plays, and now he has Braum to keep him safe.
Yeah, I mean, on that front, they at least have a relatively aggressive bot lane. Lucian, Braum is great for setting up kills, plus a very aggressive jungler in Xin Zhao, so you can expect a lot of aggression down the bot lane. And it feels like they're going to leave that GP on an island to just try and survive the Vladimir while they hopefully set up some good kills onto that susceptible bot lane.
All right, we'll see Illinois coming out of game 1 with that victory. Waterloo trying to recoup and figure out a way to right the ship as they come into game 2. As they said, they're feeling like this is the best squad that they've ever been able to have on a stage they've ever been able to bring to a competition. So we'll see if they can make it happen in game 2. It's about that mentality. It's about holding out and knowing it's still game 0 all the time, no matter what the score is, and playing it as such. We're about to get on to the rift for our next one. Illinois feeling good after that first win. And we have a different composition all around, so we should see a very different early game.
Yeah, and definitely the case where they listened to me a little bit for the side of Waterloo, going for more late game with the GP, still keeping some early game aggression, but not going all in on that early game. So nice to see a kind of combination where you have your strong side of the map with your Lucian Braum, and then the GP who could throw his ultimate down there if you are diving the Sonateric. And then the GP is going to be just kind of hoping to probably absorb that pressure.
Grasp GP as well.
Yeah, not super uncommon. Klepto has kind of fallen by the wayside with some of the matchups where you feel like you need a little bit of extra laning power. So not super surprising to see the Grasp, all things considered. Otherwise, though, it seems relatively standard draft. We do get the Swain for Captain Shrimp. It was one of those champions that we were hyping up. Played it 3 times prior, one of his most played champions. So like you were saying, we were talking up the mid laners to be kind of the focal points. Wasn't the case exactly last game, but now with some more comfort for both these players, even Zeno, much more of a control mage style player. You know, technically that is what Vigar is, but much more of a bursty kind of mage. So both of them closer to comfort this time around.
Into the mid lane. Looks like obviously Kane's starting on that Raptor pull. And we'll get a little bit of help towards red. So it's going to try to actually just pull red. All right. Give me that help.
Kayn, a very strong jungler. Doesn't need too much help to get through things. Is still running Conqueror, despite the fact there was this relatively small nerf to it. The 10% of true damage and healing getting changed to 8%.
So much action. Oh. They absolutely mirrored each other. This is perfect. I love it. Who makes the first mistake is the question. So he's going to Krugs, and then we'll see him towards the top side of the map. Looks like they might be able to meet a little bit after Scuttle Crabs, but they should be on opposite sides for that. Top lane, Sean going hard on top of Potamus. Looks like he had a good early game on that Kennen versus the Vladimir last time, so we should see him doing quite well in that aggression. The early laning, the early level 1-2 is where he gets that advantage and continues the pressure.
Yeah, it was the case, like you were saying, he got a pretty big CS lead. Also in a favorable matchup, playing the weaker side this time around, but a lot of scrapping over some camps early on here.
Not what I thought. As I said, they were going to kind of go for, it would be a blue for Lio and then Scuttles, but he decides to get in the face of Project One. Not something they were really able to do last game. They had the early ward. Bot was able to ward a little bit after that, and Project One came out with his sweeper. This time they find him right off the bat. Lio is trying to do a little tracking.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for him, though. It was warded out, so as he made his way in, you already had Project One and Xeno kind of ready to collapse on him if he went too far. Lio did play it pretty well and was able to steal away a couple of those, combined with the Swain W, that Vision of the Empire coming in from far away. And got some CS for it, but like you said, not able to turn that into some of those kills that Xin always wants early.
Scuttle dodged by Lio, comes up just a little late. He's got a very long lane here to get Xeno on the gank. Project One just on the other side. Who's gonna get the first attack though? Flash over the wall. Xeno goes up for the kill. He's trying to go all in on this and it costs him his life. No, he does get the last auto. It pays off. But the assist kill definitely in favor of Waterloo.
Oh boy, all right, a lot of things to talk about there. One, Xeno's positioning, very interesting. Hold on here, bot lane action.
Bot lane gank, Sona very
Nice
weak
flash.
in the early games, gets away. Timmy Tommy trying to be that front man as no more damage is coming through and back to the mid play.
I like to see that flash out of Platoon staying aggressive, but really interesting positioning by Xeno, going so far up that he's actually in a fine spot. But then here, Lio going in, Project One not wanting to help, and then the yank there by Captain Shrimp. Normally on Swain, you like to pull things in, you get the health back and all that, but it actually put Xeno in range to combo him and actually kill him. If he just let it go and let Lio pick up the kill himself, Captain Shrimp would have been able to been just fine. They wouldn't have traded a kill back there. So one of those times where mechanically the right thing to do, game-wise, actually not.
All those times you can, you never ask if you should, Mark. Now he's taking a bit of damage here. His flash is down, but he has Ignite if they go to dive. And they're going to have to be quite careful. Xeno working the smite on this for mid lane as well in that situation as he's changing it up with Spellbook to see if they could get any more plays to happen.
Yeah, Lio going to want to stay aggressive. Knows that there's the flash burn by the Sona, so potentially where they want to go next. Hopping in on the Taric right away.
He is active, omnipresent across the map, or just adding pressure. If that's the case, also still up in CS from his little foray over at the Raptor camp is almost under turret. Xeno goes face to face with Captain Shrimp here. Very nicely done. They get the potions chugged here and they're replenishing. And they'll stay there for the fight. CS 33 to 20 there as we saw Shrimp get pushed out of lane for that kill, and it's just been up for Xeno. Lio again on the engage. These guys are staying so active.
Lio doing exactly what he needs to in this early game, staying aggressive. It's unfortunate what happened in the mid lane, the fact that they're down a little bit of pressure for Captain Shrimp when he should be up more. But Lio, not slacking on it. He's going bot lane, getting another flash. He's going to need to stay aggressive throughout the course of this early game to make sure that they shut down this Sonateric composition.
I was going to say, he wasn't able to do much there other than walk around and show himself, but he's doing this when Shrimps is back and they don't have lane priority. And Xeno didn't miss any CS, but we're seeing how much Lio is able to kind of control and be a nuisance to the side of Illinois here to start things off. He goes back, and we'll actually see what they start bringing to the table. So he'll start back on the top side of the map. Project One on the bottom side. 33 to 43. Again, Shauner having that lane we would expect. He gets his Sheen to the Kindle Gem of Topopotamus, as both have teleported back recently.
Yeah, surprisingly, Shauner coming up way ahead of Topopotamus, kind of pushing underneath his turret, almost getting a kill. Didn't actually find it, but still a great early game for the GP with all the action being down the bot side. GP can actually be a bit of a difficult laner to deal with if he doesn't have to be scared of the enemy jungler, can take those extended trades, and feels like he's been able to get the best Topopotamus, surprisingly. Another interesting note, Xeno actually has unsealed Spellbook, which a fair amount of supports have been, or excuse me, mid laners have been doing with the presence of TP being so important. The interesting part about it is that Smite that he's holding, that's actually what he started with. He took Flash, Smite as his two default summoners, so this unsealed Spellbook, relatively common in the mid lane now. Smite, not so much.
You're definitely banging different levels before your opponent is. If you can smite out the cannon, smite out a few waves when it comes up. Really, well, it is a way if they can wave clear that fast, but you're definitely getting level 2 quite quick. 1-1 as things quiet down here. 7 minutes on the clock and just about a 500 gold lead from what has happened so far. 54-41 in that mid lane as Xeno's keeping himself safe. Out of vision and out of gank range.
Yep, and with that smite, actually, I see now why he does it. He's actually able to pick up the Runic Echoes enchant of the jungle item. So it gives him that kind of early Luden's proc that you see for wave clear. You see it bounce right there. You get that much earlier, and you can only do that if you start with smite. So
yeah,
Unseal Spellbook doesn't let you swap to smite and then buy those items. So that's why he went for that smite early on. Also gives him the chilling upgrade to potentially set up shockwaves in the future. Very interesting to see, as it is a very strong laning setup.
Top side, did Hemo play give him enough HP? It did not, as he throws down the cannon barrage. Shauner coming up with a solo kill.
Excellent job by Shauner. Picking up that kill, like we were saying, this should have been favoring the Vladimir, but he is slapping him around.
And I think it's awesome by Xeno to pick that up, because if you want to stay at wave clear pace with Shrimps, you are depleting your mana pool. Using Dissonance all the time on Orianna is so much mana. So to be able to have that help in the early game, I think it's super cool.
It's definitely an interesting variation on it.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if
it works out. I mean, sometimes it feels good in lane and then it just falls off throughout the entirety of the rest of the game, and you're like, oh, it felt good to win the lane, but you want to win the game.
Definitely the case is now with the kill in the top lane, able to convert that into a dragon, getting the priority in the mid lane as well. Captain Shrimp is falling very far behind in CS, so there's a little bit of concern there, but Swain has always been more of a mid-game champion, so the fact that the GP is doing so well, as well as the bot lane having a pretty substantial lead, yes, it is usually the Taric who is grabbing the farm early on until the Sona can upgrade her item. It is actually the case where they are still significantly behind, not close to totaling to 78 gold, or CS, excuse me.
78 gold.
Not very much.
Money in the bank.
I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Easy movement. What? Will help. That's teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. Looks like we're going to get a push on the top side turret. Mid lane evened out. A good time for Xeno to roam here. They don't have any idea where Shrimp is, but most likely back at this point. Getting antsy in the pants here. They're going to stay for the gank. Shockwave over the wall. It's a 3v1. It does not look like Shauner's going to make it out of this one alive. A nice pool to change the direction of turret aggro. Xeno with a pretty hot turret in 2 shots almost takes him out, but they're going to live, and they're going to get some plates for their trouble. Nice job by Illinois.
Yeah, really nice roam up to the top side and timed well before Shauner had any reason to kind of expect them to be up there. Now, Xeno was out of lane for a pretty good amount of time, but it felt like both mid laners were just back, so really nice job by them up in the top side and kind of exploiting that GP, which it does feel like they need to do. As long as their bot lane can make it through laning phase. Like we were saying, there is a small CS deficit there, but they're doing a good job holding on bot lane. They need to start abusing that GP in the top side.
Ooh, nice damage, almost follow up on the passive shots. Looks like they'll just keep this under the turret and keep harassing, so they get as little CS as possible on the side of University of Illinois. Back to mid lane, 78-93. Good push in here from Xeno. Got healed now on that summoner spell. As Lyo is trying to do this Rift Herald. It seems like they want to get a bit of positioning on it. Good job by Shrimps to clear out the vision ward here, and they're going to bring the full team in. So it's going to be a 3v3 situation. Bot lane is going to be staying where they are for now. Looks like Rift Herald may be taken down. Shockwave is not going to be up just yet. That could be a big one here. Xeno has got himself in the middle of the fight, and he's just waiting a few more seconds. Can he get it? It's going to turn the fight if he can actually hit it. There's the kill they need. Shauner goes down. It's what they were waiting for, and man, did they buy just enough time and pick up the Rift Herald on the side of Illinois.
Really nice usage of all their tools there. The fact that Orianna able to drop that stopwatch to stay alive, bait out a lot of cooldowns, all things considered, and then set up top Hippopotamus to be able to go in with the Vladimir. Not quite at all of his power spikes, but still a lot stronger at this point in the game. Able to get a nice 3-man ultimate. Huge bait out, and then finish off Shauner now, dying twice in a row. Really unfortunate for him. And then they also lose the Rift Herald on top of it. The double smite coming up big.
And that flash in, you think, did he see 1 second or 10 seconds on the ultimate come down? It's like,
uh-oh. That's a dead Vladimir.
Oh, it still worked out for him. I don't know if it's going to work out for Top Hippopotamus on this one last hit, and Shauner making it look easy on the top side again, continues to dominate his lane, and a lot of the teams, both of them, said this would be about the mid lane, but he is showing up for the top lane.
Yeah, Shauner's trying to take over the game himself despite getting shut down twice. He's not having it. Has really nice barrel chains. That's the second or third one I've seen in the top lane that have been very well timed. Right as the barrel drops to 1, he gets the Q off and sets up the next barrel. He had a 3-barrel chain earlier on. Shawnr looking like a master GP.
His turret just got hit pretty hard, and now he's able to do all this solo for himself. Remember, Rift Herald was in the hands of Illinois.
Ooh, the infinite
I hear
Zhonya's
it. Beautiful.
My favorite.
Until she dies again, right? Should be good.
No camera on Ori till then. We'll have to see what they can do, though, because the fact that the GP is kind of manhandling the Vladimir right now is concerning.
Yeah.
Vladimir should be playing from ahead, and when you fall behind like this, the GP actually can win the side lane as the Bosch takes a little bit of damage. And if the GP starts getting pressure in the side lane, it becomes very difficult to deal with because he has the global ultimate as well. So he is able to take these fights and actually potentially win them, and the next thing you know, you try and go to the other side of the map. He's able to get involved more often, as Timmy Tommy might be in some trouble here.
Over the wall, Krugs for the help. He'll just leave Project One by himself there for a moment. Unfortunate, no Cosmic Radiance comes down as he flashes over the wall. I decide not to try and go for that play. And as we get 14 minutes coming up on the Rift, turret plates are going to fall off with quite a few here grabbed on the side of, I guess both teams grabbed a few with that Rift Herald as well, so not the bigger deal otherwise. Here we go, back onto Ori, going down, and that's going to be Xeno finding pressure from Lyle and Captain Shrimp to get a kill on that Swain.
I've never, picked sides for who I want to win, but I'm very excited that with that death, hopefully the Orianna is spectatable again.
Thumbs up.
We'll have to see. I've yet to see Timmy Tommy, drop an ultimate here, and the game is starting to slip away a little bit from them. That Infernal Drake pickup is huge. They already had a Mountain Drake. They're getting pressure around the top lane with the GP by himself. Here we see just a really nice, simple combo chain. Flash on top of the Orianna, who still did not have hers. Grab that kill. GP also getting involved and get to run down to the Drake. And yeah, like we were saying, that mid lane, or the mid skirmish that happened earlier, where you have Timmy Tommy flashing the wall, but then not dropping the ultimate on top of himself. It's surprising they want to blow that cooldown first. He also had the heal still up, so maybe not the right prioritization of ability usage out of him. And with the death that happened for Project One, that's kind of what's also set up that play, and for Lyo to kind of run wild in the mid lane as well.
Hippopotamus not in a good situation. Barrel chain's not going to be there on this one. The Q comes up, and Project One's there for safety, but they want, oh my word! Project One's HP is gone, the burn is there, the potion has been chugged, and he keeps himself alive as he gets a good hit out. That is a quick kill coming through. However, they do lose Shawnr finally. That's going to be a quick shutdown for them, and they get the kill over on to the Bosch. Back and forth is a kind of just split-second decisions being made here on the Rift by both teams. I don't know who's benefiting at this point.
I'll tell you who's benefiting. Waterloo. That's a 2-for-1 in the top lane with the Sona TPing behind, which means the turret's not defendable, so they're able to grab the bot lane turret first one on the map as well. Goldie going up to 2K. Shawnr does die again, but it feels like all the deaths happening to Shawnr are spending so many resources out of University of Illinois, and every time that they find a kill onto him, he's almost always trading back on his own. Winning that trade, then here, a huge chunk of damage on a Project One. He's able to bait it out, but the TP was already coming in, so they're kind of forced to find a play here. It was a cute attempt to drop the ultimate by the Taric as the TP was going, so Sona teleports invulnerable. That's actually a really cute interaction, but it didn't do anything because Waterloo was already focused on the other members, so by the time Sona shows up, the Taric ultimate's wearing off.
Great thought. Still a chance to be executed. Fake out the mines of Waterloo. Lyo to clear out his jungle now. He's got a few camps on that bottom side to do so. Raptors may be spawning soon. So is the junglers love. Clear your Raptors so they can spawn again.
And we see some of the Orianna laning choices paying off there. The fact that she's able to grab the mid lane turret mostly on her own. Really well done by Xeno. He went not only for that early kind of Ludens proccing Runic Echoes jungle item build, but he also went for the double pen, which a lot of Oriannas like to do from ahead. So this is a super huge power spike for the Orianna. The double flat pen items with the early Runic Echoes coming in so much earlier than a Ludens would.
Yeah, really making the damage stick here in the beginning. Probably not the Swain as he'll heal it back up, but it looks like we're going to traverse up towards the top side through river. Wards being cleared, focus being put around that Baron area. We still have 3 minutes, so wards are going to die out before that happens anyways, but it looks like top turret is what wants to go down, so they don't have that protection.
Yeah, but...
So, oh, Shawner, all day doing work on the side.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You spend these resources up in the top lane to try and protect your Sona Taric, but that means you have the GP running wild on his own, and with how strong the GP is, that's supposed to be the weak side of the map where University of Waterloo is kind of sacking to try and kill the Sona and Taric, but the fact that GP is crushing it this hard on his own means that they can spend all their resources sitting on the Sona Taric lane, completely neutralize them, and let the GP go wild.
And it's a great way for Waterloo to progress through the game too, because if they can stay away from fights with Zeno hitting a huge shockwave and just let side lanes push with Shawner, it's a great outcome for them here come mid-game. Still 2 Drakes towards Waterloo here as we start up on 18 minutes. 3 turrets in their favor, which means outer 3? No, top, bottom 2, and top 1. So they're still looking for that mid lane turret as Zeno's had quite a mid lane for himself now on Ghost and Flash with his spellbook. He's done a great job with that wave clear, keeping it pressure off the turret. Looking for any big advantages here. I keep looking at the ADCS. I'm like, wow, 167 to 73, but it's about 150 to 167 right now, all things considered.
Yeah, a lot more neutral than it looks, just because the Sona Taric lane will split CS like that. And it does feel like, hold on, Zeno.
The shockwave they need, maybe they will take the fight here. Lyle, however, starts to go down with the heal. Nice Cosmic Radiance. Project 1 is possibly able to get onto a priority target. Teleport now comes in. What can Shawner do here in the middle of the fight? And he's going to be able to get the first kill of it. Very nicely done. Second kill as well. Looking for that triple. It's going to be a big hit, I believe, from Sona. And they're going to get themselves down. That's a kill on Shrimps. And now it is mid-turret going down. That's the final one I said that they wanted, and they made it happen fast. 5K gold lead now for Waterloo. What a change from game 1.
Yeah, Waterloo absolutely crushing this game. Looking like they're setting up for the final game. And I gotta say, that was such a good fight by Waterloo, forcing Zeno back early on. And then as soon as the Sona Taric ultimate starts coming in, they know to go into full retreat and kind of just bait it out. So start on to Zeno, who is by far the biggest threat on the side of Illinois right now. And then as soon as this ultimate comes in, they start going full retreat mode. And so at this point, Timmy Tommy's flashing in just to land a stun, but now that the fight's actually broken out, the Taric ultimate is off. And so there's no one being protected from this. Shawner TP's in, nice little KS there. This ult comes out of Project 1, so they finish him off, and then a great route by Shrimp to set up the third and final kill of the fight.
That mid turret does fall, and only mid is down for Illinois against Waterloo. So it is tough for them to really get themselves into the jungle, find safe ways in and out to place any vision further than the river really stops the playmaking. Looks like a hit onto Sherb. That's what I'm talking about. Unless it's in the river, they're not able to do much as they start to back off. It's all dark on the other side. Here comes the ultimate as well. Shawner from the other side of the map gets a little bit of help into that one, and Waterloo picks himself up a kill.
What can't this GP kill steal? You had Captain Shrimp putting all the work, lands the Vision of the Empire for the slow, gets his own claw onto him for the pullback, and of course GP contributing damage, but kill goes over to him, and now Illinois has to try and contest this 4v5 without their strongest member available.
Looking at Bosch, a bit slowed, nice double crescendo, damage back onto Sherb as he throws out the Glacial Fissure. Project 1 a bit slowed as he tries to make his way through the wall. Gets out of the edge there. Wind becomes lightning, not going to hit Project 1 as Lyo tries to get the slow in. A chase on all fronts here as Bosch and Shawner going ham, and that's going to be another kill for him. If he starts to get onto Timmy Tommy, that is not going to spell good things. Mid lane being pushed by Waterloo here as they are making a statement in game 2.
Yep, Shawner gonna keep charging ahead, killed the first half of the Sona Taric lane, wants the other one, grabs him as well. Shawner running over this game.
Absolutely incredible. Does it on Kennen last game, but wasn't able to pull the lane into a big enough kind of map play for the entire team. Was really only able to have a good lane, and now he is just controlling the game itself as the team is able to push side turrets and whatnot. They're saying, thank you, Shawner.
With that Baron buff now, just 21 minutes in the game, double Infernal Drake as well. You can see no real hope of contesting this. A nice double stun to hopefully set up them running away, but the Vision of the Empire, super long range, able to get the slow onto Project 1, and then Shawner's just so fast with the Triforce completed, landing the barrel chains as well, gets the slow, the speed up from the passive on that as well. And there's just no stopping him as he continues to charge down. He gets the kills while the rest of the team focuses on the mid lane.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Sick barrel chains.
Wow. Just the edge there, too. Like,
Put on the shoes,
Yep.
breaking the ankles.
so much. He's on a combat mission, and he is doing big things. 8-3-2. 3-0 and 3-0-3 as well. 2-1-5 down that board on the side of Waterloo. And it shows what we were saying last game for University of Illinois. These kills across the entire team and not just stacked on Platoon. You see what's happening now, that the kills are across Waterloo and not on just one person.
Yeah, and of course we were talking about how
None for Platoon.
both teams were expecting, you know, a 1v9 from the mid lane, but this is absolutely
Right.
Shauner putting in the work. With good help from Lyo. Lyo had a
Shauner.
lot of aggressive early game in the enemy jungle to kind of buy space in the top lane for Shauner to kind of take that lane over. But he himself absorbed a lot of pressure as well, and now you can see them need to bring multiple members down to try and answer him, but they're scared to walk up.
Oh, wow. Looking at the wave clear as well. There is none for the side of Illinois. They have really put themselves up against the wall here against the Baroned up minion team. You can see Topopotamus doing what he can. The minion's hardly going to take any damage here, as you can see how much magic resistance they have. And instantly bopped out.
That was some frame-perfect timing out of Lyo right as the Zonya's ends and before the healing from the ultimate of Vladimir gets back to him. He times that perfectly to get the kill. That was pretty sick by Lyo.
It's got to travel. Transfusion can be blocked by walls and whatnot. Cool thing. Damage going in. They do take down another turret. That's going to be Timmy Tommy falling first as Illinois tries to find solace behind their Nexus turrets. Look at this from the other side as well. Shauner and Platoon coming in strong with the cavalry, and they're going to start putting damage onto the Nexus turrets. What a turnaround game. Night and day performance coming out of Waterloo here, and they will put up a game. You can see the claps coming from Platoon. He knows they had him in the first half and the second. Waterloo coming up with game number 2.
Who knows what happened in game 1? Maybe some nerves for Waterloo, but those look completely gone as they slap Illinois in this game, ending it in 24 minutes, almost half the game time of the previous game.
One of my big questions coming in here as well for a team that is more considered new, considered an underdog. Is that mentality there to carry through a best of 5? You lost game 1, is decent at 34-ish minutes. Yeah, it's cool because we're going to win faster the next game.
Yeah, and I was saying, oh, maybe they should go for more of a late game focus given what happened in the last game. They weren't that clean in closing out. Yeah, they took the GP, but they did not play like they were playing for late game. He was aggro the whole laning phase. They were making early plays in the enemy jungle, and I really liked what I saw out of Waterloo, and it's going to force a big change out of Illinois because they need to find some lanes that they're going to get some pressure in.
And this guy's a master tier player, knows what he's doing, been playing for quite some time, joined the team in 2016 and going for chemical engineering, and still able to do all of this at the same time. So definitely big brain coming out of Shauner here. And I liked what we said there. I'm not like coining Shauner as a term. Like that was a Shauner. It was good.
That was a Shauner. Yeah,
was
it's
a
perfectly, you know, grammatically correct with the at the end.
So looking at what else this team does, speaking of Shauner as well, he says that we personalize each play and style we bring to a team. And we kind of saw that change as well. I think they were able to identify the way that Illinois played a little bit so that Waterloo would come out stronger game 2.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I wonder if they're going to get the side selection because if they can, I would love to give Shauner counterpick again because he is taking Topopotamus apart.
Agreed.
And he's your hard carry right now, so I'm interested to see what they do heading into game 3, but I'm super impressed.
We'll see what the analyst desk thinks. For more on how Waterloo tied this series, let's send it over to the State Farm analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Riv. Appreciate the toss. And guys, again, another draft here with 2 teams playing very specific styles in it.
Yeah, I thought this draft was super interesting at a high level. So Illinois is first picking Vladimir, which is a little bit suspect by itself. But
Disrespect.
A little bit, I think, but it is a flex, right? So you're not sure where it's going. Also, with the 5 OPs taken off the table, it makes some sense. But I think the composition really starts to come together with the Sona Taric, right? So Sona Taric, you're conceding priority early, but what you do have is scaling and sustain, okay? So this composition is designed to fall behind early and then hopefully be able to power through the mid game and eventually win. And coupled with the self-sustain from the Kayn, the Vladimir, the ability for both these champions to reset fights, I actually thought the draft was pretty creative and actually clever. I think the problem was falling behind by too much too soon.
Yeah, I mean, I was having a discussion earlier. One of the producers was asking me, hey, I'm thinking about playing Sonoteric. Should I do it? I was like, well, Probably not, because it's actually a very difficult composition
Yeah.
to execute.
Yeah.
You are
It is.
in a completely different wheelhouse compared to playing in bottom lane, AD carry, and a support. And then you have to group and how to utilize those ultimates with your team is so much more different. And I felt like UI, they felt like, yeah, this comp is just great. It's just gonna work. We're not gonna have to think a lot about it. And it's not the case. We've already seen it be dismantled a lot, particularly at MSI. SKT got bodied by it. So it is a good comp, but I think that teams are catching on to how to beat it early.
Yeah, and it takes a little bit more execution, as you said, teamwork to get that done. We have a couple examples here. 18 minutes, 3-0 at the Dragon, but it starts off with not the correct usage of the ults, as you would
Sure,
say.
so watch this. We use the Sona ulti here to sort of reset the fight and disengage. The Taric ulti comes in relatively late, and as Taric flashes in, the Taric ult is off, the Sona ulti is down, and a really nice, beautiful re-engage here from Waterloo. And without your tools to reset fights and sustain your teammates up, you're never winning this fight. So it was a good look, but you're pushing for too much and maybe not fully understanding how you need to play your composition.
Yeah, a little bit too early there, and there were multiple times where Mark Z kept saying, hey, look, you have the right idea, you're using your ult now and trying to get it working, but every time they get to the engage, Taric ult is now starting to come a little bit apart, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you also have a lot of disengage tools in Waterloo's composition. Xin Zhao ultimate, really great at just, all right, fight's over, Gangplank, you really can't get past him. Even Swain, he's tanky enough to survive the initial burst. So they actually did a pretty good job in drafting around it, and they were able to get past the early game, which is really a great bonus right now when you have Infernal Dragons that can help you scale and snowball faster.
Yeah, and again, we thought in game one, Waterloo was just going to be a team that won through scrapping, team fighting, Platoon, having himself a game. Now, Shauner in the top lane doing well, and love this little bit here at the end after they get Baron, going to 1-3-1 here and showing off their macro ability here, the young team, their first time at the Collegiate Championships.
I mean, this just shows you're not going to be able to first pick top lane anymore. You need the counter pick. If Gangplank is solo killing Vlad, not just here, because he solo killed him in lane, you're going to be in trouble. So this is the 1-3-1 that you're saying and how they end the game, taking advantage of 3 lanes of Baron. Really great to see that. It would have been disappointing if they didn't end on that push being so far ahead. And you can see the gold graph. There was actually even a point in time where blue side had some gold, but past 15 minutes, the story was all red.
Yeah, and it's good for, I think, Waterloo here to bounce back, right? Because they had opportunities in game one where they were in the gold lead, and it was a slobber knocker back and forth. This one, they were supposed to get ahead and close it out. They're able to do so.
Yeah, it was a close game. I think Illinois was hanging on for a great portion of this game. For 10 minutes, they were doing fine, and after that, they made one mistake, and really quickly, one mistake turns into 2, and 2 into 3, and then they just lost all.
Can we talk about the Orianna mid?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, she had Smite. I know you had some good points as to why that worked.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a really nuanced adaptation, and there's a lot of reasons why it's effective. I think primary, you're getting the Ludens proc about 800 gold sooner, so that's great for your wave clear, but also you're able to use the Smite as you would the old minion dematerializer, where you're smiting the minions for priority. Additionally, you can take teleport at 9 minutes and TP back to lane for another free window of priority. You can also swap to exhaust late game if you need it, or even double smite for objectives. So you have a lot of options, and it hinges around the fact that the early Ludens is giving you priority, the smite's giving you priority, and the TP is giving you prio as well.
Yeah, and Zeno, again, was way ahead in CS. Even though he was getting caught out a couple times, got himself a couple early kills. He's the player, if you're Illinois, you want to build around, and Illinois has just selected the red side. So they're going back to red side and trying to draft that way.
Yeah, gotta get that counter pick. That's the whole point of red side, is to be able to get counter picks into your lane. So either flex them or just save them all the way till the very end. Because you can even do counter picks in bottom lane. You can do counter picks anywhere now that every champion can seemingly work everywhere. And me. I want to see Yumi. I want to see Yumi. Where is she?
It wasn't banned this game. It was banned game 1. It was open this game. Maybe not that playable into Sona Taric, but they picked Lucian Braum 1-2. So it seems to be that they're just fans of Lucian, I guess.
Well, one more opportunity to see Yumi in this series. It's going to all 3 games. Meet us here in just a few minutes to see if Waterloo or Illinois pick up the win. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, flash over the wall. Zeno goes up for the kill. He's trying to go all in on this, and it costs him his life. No, he does get the last auto. It keeps himself alive as he gets a good hit out. That is a quick kill coming through. However, they do lose Shauner. Finally, that's going to be a quick shutdown for them. Shauner Duke here in the middle of the fight, and he's going to be able to get the first kill of it. Very nicely done. Second kill as well. Looking for that triple. What a turnaround game. Night and day performance coming out of Waterloo here, and they will put up a game.